right, so I've been wanting to do a walkthrough of my build for a little while now, and I thought the best place would be to come back to the first place I went camping ever with this truck, which was right over there, literally right over there. And yeah, that was 2.5 years ago. And pretty much since then, getting this truck, it's enabled me to just go camping, explore, these really cool places, get to really cool hiking spots that are otherwise really difficult to get to if you don't have four-wheel drive. Yeah, just do all these really cool things. So I love this truck. It was a change for me from a Corolla, and it's been really cool. Getting it and building it out and adventuring. So yeah. It's a 2023 Toyota Tacoma off-road, and you can see it's not really like too built out. It's from just taking a look at it, it doesn't look much more than stock. It's got some bigger tires, some lights and whatnot, but it's close to stock. And for me, I don't really like the big, heavy overlanding builds. I really want to keep it so that I can go off-roading without a lot of heavy weight. I can still go camping. I have all the camping essentials that I need here, and still have an amazing camping experience. And then also I can take the topper off. I have a soft topper. I can take that off and actually do truck stuff, because I do that too. This is my daily driver. I haul lumber from Home Depot, furniture. All the different, I need to be able to use this in a versatile way. So this is kind of the build that works for me. So yeah, right now it's in camping mode because it has the topper, and I am going to just give a walk around of everything in there and how I get set up for camping now. So I'm going to take you around back to show the camper back here that I built out of the inside the Softopper. So it looks like this. I've been pretty happy with it, and I've camped in here about 10 times so far. And yeah, I mean, you could see, so this is it's a short bed Tacoma, so I'm almost 6 feet, so I can't lay down lengthwise. So the best way to get comfortable is to do a diagonal. I have a diagonal bed here, and I did copy this from this other guy on YouTube. I believe it was Kayak USA. So shout out to him. But the diagonal bed is made up of 2 layers. One is I believe it was 3-inch memory foam, and I got that from a foam supplier. I went to the warehouse, had them cut it to this exact dimension. And the other is a topper off Amazon that I cut myself. So this thing is actually pretty comfortable to sleep on. If you just have to sleep on the diagonal, you can stretch out, and it's a pretty comfortable mattress. That was big for me. I wanted to actually get a comfortable mattress, because sleeping on certain sleeping pads, they can really suck, and I just wanted this to be nice. So yeah, I mean, I'll just show some stuff over here. We got a bunch of different things that I have just kind of Velcroed to the side. Carbon monoxide detector, speaker, thermometer, and then some controls for these fairy lights up here, and also controls for, it's kind of hard to see right now because of the sunset. The sun is still out, but there is this red LED strip, and at night you can see it. It looks pretty dope, actually. That goes around the bed. So that controls all that. There is a fan and a little hook for headlamps. This fan is actually it's good for airflow, because pretty much I leave, because of the soft topper, if you closed it up at night, it would just get so uncomfortably hot. So you gotta leave this open. I do a mosquito net over it, and I turn on the fan just to get airflow. Otherwise, there's this plastic bin I got from Lowe's, and it just has
kind of bigger items that I put in there. There's like the Coleman grill and some other stuff. Right now under there I have actually Max Tracks kind of just under there, a shovel. I'm going to be moving that when I get the roof rack set up, but until then it's just under there. But it's cool because the diagonal part, you can fit a bunch of stuff. And I also just really like having this open space to crawl up in there. It doesn't feel, it's just nice. I don't know. And it's also nice to, sometimes I have bigger items and I can just put it on the floor right there and it will go up to the top instead of having, one level, the entire size of the bed. But yeah, and then I got, this Amazon special just desk lamp, gooseneck desk lamp, which is actually pretty bright, and I use that mostly for like cooking on the tailgate. We also have a drawer which has pretty much like absolute, it goes all the way back, so it has pretty much like absolutely everything that I need. I'll show that white control is actually a controller for a heated blanket, which I don't have here right now because it's not been super cold lately. This is, still early September, but this wool blanket's been fine. But that remote hooks up under the mattress. The electric blanket goes to this plug right here that plugs in on this side. So yeah, all the wiring is kind of hidden away under the mattress. And then something else I guess I did forget to mention is that I do also have these USB-C 30 watt chargers, one there and one over there I made a net kind of over there. It's hanging there for my girlfriend. So fast iPhone chargers also built in. But I think that's pretty much everything here. And then I will get into the way that this is wired. What we have right here is this is just the LED strip. This is the heated blanket, the electric blanket, and that plugs into the surge protector. The surge protector is plugged into this outlet right here. Wires actually go up here, and then they cross over. And this is AC, obviously AC wiring. And then there is also DC wiring, which is this guy. It basically controls all this USB stuff in here that I mentioned before. And both AC and DC go into basically a junction box I made that's in the bed storage. So I didn't really have to modify it too much. I just drilled like 2 holes in the corner. If I can get that to focus, 2 holes in the corner. Those wires are run under the truck. So that's coming basically from the junction box, and I ran a wire under here and then it goes straight back. I did that to avoid the exhaust. And then it goes straight back into the middle of the truck, which is the next part I'll show, which is the battery system I have set up. So what's cool is, again, I wanted to kind of keep my truck like, mostly stock. And just in terms of just like nothing too crazy. I want the versatility of being able to actually have people sit here. My girlfriend's parents came off-roading with us last weekend and they sat here, so I can't not have the back seat. But so, given all that, what I did was I designed a battery system that fits in behind the back seat. So looking in here, first thing you'll notice is that the actual back seats, the plastic behind the seats, is taken out. And the reason for that is you actually lose inches of space having them in there. And to fit this stuff in behind the seats, that was not going to work. So I took them out and I just got this plywood that I kind of cut around various items that are already built into the truck. This is this motor for the slider back window. So I just kind of use a jigsaw to cut around this. But still, this is used to mount everything, to screw into the wood back there. I'll start with the battery, 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate deep cycle battery. It's being charged by the Victron DC-DC charger. This thing is powered by these wires, 6-gauge wires that are running kind of right over here. And then they go inside that plastic right there and then down on the floor to the front, through the firewall to the starter battery. So the starter battery, when it's on, when the truck is on, the alternator is charging the DC-DC charger, which is converting to the right voltage to charge the battery. Then pretty much the main items connected to the battery, aside from the charger, is this thick cable here, this right here, that is connected to the inverter. This is a 1,000-watt inverter, and what we have plugged in here is this extension cord actually goes right here, and then it goes under. There's a hole right here in the middle of the truck that just has a rubber grommet on the underside. So I literally cut a slit in the carpet right there, and then took the rubber grommet out, and I could run, well, I guess I cut a hole in the rubber grommet, but still I ran this extension cord down through there, and then I strapped it under the truck, around back, and then to that junction point that I mentioned before. The other item connected to the battery is this, which goes to the fuse block. This thing is for all direct DC power. So this is like electric blanket, and anything else that I want to plug in, like a toaster or an Instant Pot or anything else I want to plug in to the back there. It's this guy right here. And then this is for all other DC direct items like air compressor, and the camper, that's the DC wires that are back there. So this also, the camper wires also follow this same extension cord, and they go under the truck. So it's AC and DC to the back, and the air compressor is that right there. So really happy with the Viair air compressor. It's pretty nice compared to what I had before. I also mentioned there's this shelf right here that just holds a bunch of other stuff, like a jump start battery and tire repair kit and different things. Yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress. I'm still adding stuff to it constantly, but you can see, some relays, various things. And here I actually have a thermometer that I'm watching via Bluetooth app, because I was concerned about how hot the DC-DC charger might get. So far, it's really not been a problem. But specifically how hot it would get when the seats are up, in a confined space. But none of this stuff has gotten really too hot. And, if I'm concerned about it, I just put the seats down when we're camping, because we're really just using it when we're camping, other than when this runs to charge everything. But yeah, that's pretty much the battery setup. It is pretty awesome, actually. It's, it's more than adequate for what we need it for. And it makes camping extremely comfortable and just really easy. So I'll walk around to the front actually and show some wiring I did, which is actually the most recent project that I've worked on, which is wiring up everything to pretty much work off these buttons here, the same way that I described that the 6-gauge wires running for the DC-DC charger is running right here under this plastic to the engine bay. There's a bunch of trigger wires that I have running here as well that are all used for the relays back there to turn everything on. So this right here, the camper power is turning on the DC power in the camper. This is the stock inverter, of course. This right here is my 1,000-watt inverter. And if I press it, you might be able to hear it turn on right now. Yeah, I just heard it. So, and then we got, you know, a few other things. This is ditch lights, you know, those are pretty straightforward. And air compressor, you hear that. And yeah, so that's all hooked up. And I'll also show real quick, I have a this guy right here is the this is basically the switch to turn on the charging mode for the DC-DC charger. I did that because you can leave it on, and like it will pretty much auto charge. You can leave it on. You can leave it on and it will auto charge, supposedly with the Victron app, or using the settings in the Victron app. You can make it so that it will just charge when the truck is on, and it detects the truck's on because the alternator is producing a certain voltage, or the battery rather has a certain voltage because the alternator is running, and it will charge up to 100% in theory. But I've found that the battery I have, maybe it's just the battery I have, I don't know, it doesn't really charge past 99%, and it just, everything starts to get really hot back there if you just leave it on charging at 99%. So I had to have this button, so basically I turn that on and off when it gets to 99%. I just hit that button, turn it off. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We got a nice view right here, and yeah, I think the lighting is maybe a slightly better now for kind of getting a sense of how nice and cozy it is here at night when it starts to have the sun starts to go down. But yeah, that's pretty much the walkthrough. So I'm sitting here chilling, enjoying the sunset, and I was thinking, I didn't mention before that one of the big things for me is the ability to actually disassemble everything relatively quickly. So you know, I actually designed all of this so that nothing is really built in. It's all like 3/4 plywood platform that I cut specifically around the grooves in the Tacoma, so that it kind of like drops in and I can pull it out. Like, it is a little heavy to, you know, and bulky to maneuver, but I'm able to do it, you know, easily enough to get it in and out. And Softopper, you know, Softopper, you can take the Softopper off really quickly. People who have Softoppers know. And pretty much like all the wiring is already in there. So it's all actually zip tied. It has these adhesive pads, and everything's zip tied or somehow adhered to the platform itself. So really, it's like shelf comes out. I put the shelf away. The platform, well, you know, obviously the mattress and the platform comes out. Put that away. There's this support beam and the Softopper itself. That's pretty much it. Like all the accessories here, they're all Velcro, so I can just undo them as I need to. This just unscrews literally with this hex bit. So this whole wall comes down, and yeah, I mean, I designed it so that the junction box I mentioned before, that's in the cubby storage, it unplugs. So all the wiring is on the platform, and then the AC and the DC both plug into the junction box. So I just unplug it and pull it out. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of a big, like, that's the point, because I don't want to have a hard top that is, you know, takes a long time or is a big headache to take off. You know, it's the same reason, you know, the reason I have the Softopper is because I need to be able to use the truck. So I need to be able to take this stuff out when I do need to. Realistically, it probably takes me, I don't know. I mean, I think if I like rushed, maybe I could do it in 15 minutes, but probably like 20, 30 minutes to like do everything. But that's also, I got to like put everything away and just, you know, fold everything up, you know. So just, I'm going to be honest about it. I think probably like 15 to 30 minutes, I'll say. But still, that's not, in the scheme of things, that's not a lot. I could just do that in the morning if I have like a weekend where I need to go get some lumber or something. So yeah, but it's pretty cool, you know. I'm really happy with it. I'm really proud of it, and it's awesome to sleep in. And I do sleep here with my girlfriend when we go camping. We have tried it with our dog. It is pretty tight, but we have done it. He sleeps down there sometimes. Sometimes he sleeps up there. But yeah,